noises just randomly. Anyways, welcome back this week. Unfortunately, Star is not able to make it, as mentioned beforehand, but, this is part of the recording, so whatever. Now then, on to the recap. As you ventured into town and decided to kill the once and future king, his name wasn't Arthur, thankfully enough, so that storyline has yet to be corrupted, even though you've already destroyed 2 works of literature. But we won't get
That
into
was
that
your
right now.
fault.
Regardless of that, you managed to get into the center of the entire situation. Tasmar's brother, who is not a very nice person, half brother by blood, but not by true oath, decided to go and corrupt everything, wasn't? And a man was assisting him on this. His name in the town was Foster, but you eventually discovered that he goes by another name, Anderson, and his robotic company helped advance things to a greater extent and got a very good security, let's call it contract, because you really don't know what actually happened there. But with that, he had the ear of the politicians, the kings, and the princes. He had decided to invite the once and future king, I'm going to make that joke again, to a dinner to get his associate to contribute to this plan. However, without truly looking into it and without actually speaking with the higher up, you never really discovered what that plan was going to be. But that didn't really matter, because at the point in time, you knew you had to kill these people. One was basically trying to make sure they had all the power that they possibly could have, and the other one was doing the exact same thing, but killing people in the process, or injuring them, or maiming them. I guess they both were bad people. Had to die. Situation changed. You went in, extracted the information, well, as best you could, killed one outright immediately thanks to a more or less very healthy drink, and the other one with a very good amount of damage. Got rid of the enemies that could have been, got rid of the warforges that could have been, and ultimately took them down. Then their associate came by, and it took a while, but you managed to strike him down too, but not without incurring pain. When it was discovered, thanks to Q's information broker, basically an angel that really doesn't like to do their job, it became apparent that this creature was a lich, and in order to keep them down, Iskar had decided to make their wish, to make sure that their death was permanent. And with that, the binding was set and a corruption was made. The seal on his back shows an emblem of his own choosing. His body then basically went to mush. Tasmar was able to get his associates and his own guards to discover in their own way what had concluded and what had happened. And your names were basically cleared, with some help from your own associates and Tasmar actually liking you guys. With that, I just noticed Akio's lurking. With that, you managed to go in, bring down the house, and get back to the house with a dead body in tow. Yes, Blue, you are fine. However, on the house, it was discovered that Iskar and Cerulean have both been marked by some very high-level curse, or curse-like effect. And Q's patriarch, not patriarch, patron deity, said that they could not do anything so long as these two did not want the effect to go away. Cerulean was very clear she did not, and Iskar in tow did the same. With that, you calmed yourselves, took a rest. The helper that was basically a cowboy, let's just say he was a cowboy. Bad cowboy, but cowboy nonetheless, and an angel, decided to burn the body after everyone took their long rest. Everyone spoke and then came here. After arriving here, it took some time, but Tasmar eventually told you, now that you've done this job, I award you a gift, be it title, item, or wonder. It is for you to decide, as you have saved more or less the kingdom and what resides of its people. While this information will not expand beyond those that have heard, you will at least be known to me. And with that, Iskar got his own item. I'm not going to say what it was. If you want to repeat it, it's perfectly fine. Morthos is still choosing. Q had decided more or less and eventually came to the conclusion of going with a title. I don't remember the title, I'm going to be honest.
I believe it was Warden.
Right. She is currently above the station of most of the politicians, but still below the king and crown. All right. Q, before you guys went to sleep, told Cerulean, oh yeah, by the way, you married your best friend. Didn't tell you. Bye. A threat was made. Iskar and Morthos brought her down to maybe a trial, and not just immediate death. Back to the topic at hand. So, with items being chosen and potential being made, you do know two things at least for certain. One, you're likely going to go to the bordering war that resides in your kingdom, the Kingdom of Io and the Kingdom of Mist. And two, this has been a very busy honeymoon / vacation. This is where we'll start.
Yeah, it's
I and my wife have made our decisions. Is there anyone else who would like to go next?
oh, that ring would be nice, but not for me. Because I've seen a lot of strong spells.
Mm-hmm. Plus,
But
if you use like combination effects, you could easily fill the gap of the potential danger. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm the DM. I can't give you hints or clues, but it'll be.
Can I share this with them?
Oh yeah, like if you guys say, "Hey, let me look at your kingdom's treasures," or ask Cerulean, "Hey, what's in the box?" As long as you're not Q, she'll tell you.
Hey dear, what's in the box?
Okay. So the items she saw are the ones that I gave to Morthos to see beforehand, because they couldn't exactly tell what exactly they want to a degree. Are you typing the items out? Because you can just copy and paste them.
No, I was actually just putting that message in.
Oh, okay. Then I will copy and paste it into the game.
I was going to put it in Discord, but that works.
She then states, there were a few things, but the main thing I considered, or at least decided to get, was the ring for you to make sure you're able to walk without assistance. But these few items are the ones I took note of. A Spell Watcher, which is a ring with an ability to mimic a spell that has been seen by the holder. It has a chance of error if you're not actually able to use the spell properly, as in the level. It can be used once a day from what I remember, before it has to be charged again. From what I remember, there's also a Hexblade Curse. If you equip it to an item that you have possession of or bonded with, it then has 3 charges in tow, every 3 days. After the 3rd day, I believe it just charges the full if you've already expended one. You wish upon wish, / percentile dice, and 95% and higher, you choose to remove a spell of your choice from seen or known spells the target has, and GM shows 2 spells on request and does not return, and the spells do not return till a long rest. 75 to 94, all same rules apply from the above, but the GM does not show you spells. 50 to 74, a random spell is removed from the target until a long rest or a short rest is had. 20 to 49, a wild magic surge happens, but you can target who it happens to. And 1 through 19, nothing happens. There's also the Hood of the Magic Beast, which is a hood that has likely been carved from a magical beast itself. Wearing it adds additional spell slot a day. It said, from what I remember, it says a spell slot, so it can be a 5th level, 1st level, 3rd level, whatever the holder decides, which is very dangerously strong, potentially. There's also the Gambler's Hat. If you attack an enemy or use magic in general, the wearer can roll a d20, and if a 15 is rolled, no spell slot is extended or used. The spell is simply cast without you having to expend anything. But if you do not succeed, a resource is used, and the spell slot is also used. There's more inside, but these are the only things I actually saw.
Well, thank you for getting me back up on my feet, as it were, and I will be sure to return this ring to you once it's something I no longer need.
That's more than fair. I likely won't need it myself. It's pretty bad. The only spot I needed was to make sure your strength was at least to a farmer's level. Because that's how strong you are currently. But she does state towards Blue and Morthos, and technically Zen. Zen wanted to go last, but she extends it to her as well. Well, me, my husband, and she looks towards Zen, your companion, have all chosen what they have desired. If none of you want to go, that's perfectly fine. We could probably maybe ask for an IOU. He seems more than willing to help us out.
Well, I for one would prefer the IOU.
Alright, but you don't have to tell me that. You probably want to suggest that to him.
Blue will step forward then.
Alright, step forwards. As you step forwards, the king nods, graciously bows, and then states, "Now then, Miss, I believe you called yourself Miss Blue. Now that I think about it, I don't know if that's your first or last name. Nonetheless, to what can the king and crown offer you?"
If I may, I would like to take some time to think on it.
Of course, take all the time you need. As I mentioned beforehand, Iskar's item will take a few days, 3 days in total, to have forged to allow him to see sight beyond his normal sight. No, it's not going to be a Thundercat weapon. Don't even make that joke. Anyways, back to game. So, do you need more than that?
I am not sure. This is quite the reward to suddenly be deciding upon.
That's quite true. I only gave you a night/2 weeks. That's out of game. To decide. Take your time. But in the...
To be fair, I don't think anyone told Raucus until I told them.
Yeah, it was kind of like, that's fair. It was like,
I thought you were gonna say, and then you thought I was gonna say. It was a big fuck up.
no. In my honest opinion, It was a throwaway line at the end when he like picked up the two very dangerous weapons they had, well, his brother had, highly cursed. And then like the throwaway line was, "Thank you for what you have done. In the name of the king and state, come by tomorrow, and I will deliver to you a reward that of your own choosing." It was like, and then he basically left. So it was like a line that could have easily been misinterpreted or not heard by anyone. And then 2 weeks passed, missed a week, so can easily be forgotten. Plus, I haven't been posting properly, mainly because I lost half of one session.
Have. But, Marthos, Zen, if there's nothing you'd like to ask about at the moment, though I can feel strong enough to move, I can definitely tell that I should not be. Like to get some rest.
Zen does state that's more than likely fair. While your body is likely adjusting to the magical energy it's provided, it is still fatigued and will likely be that for quite some time. I do suggest plenty of sleep, plenty of rest. Looks towards Cerulean, and then like a sister would to a sister that knows what she does in the middle of the night, but doesn't tell the parents. Sleep. Just sleep. I understand that. I don't know why you need to tell me this. Because sometimes you... No, if I say that, it'll probably bite me in the butt. He needs sleep. I'll make sure he gets it. Okay, but besides that, though, Morthos, do you have anything to decide?
Sorry, I was trying to refund someone channel points. There it is. So,
All right, Iskar. It's gonna take some getting used to.
right.
Changed for Feywild purposes.
If they said Zod, they said Iskar, because they would know the name.
I really don't see anything out of that list. I mean, I'd like it, but
There are more items other than that list. It's just when I was at work, I could only remember those items.
so is it able that we're to be able to look at the items, and if we don't find anything, request a different thing?
Yeah, you can just say, "Do you mind if I look in the chest?" It's already out. He'll probably just say, "Be my guest." He's been honestly kind. Like, other than the kind person at the start of the game that then betrayed you, which I can't remember who it was, but I remember that happened. He has been the next kindest. Although still pretty gruff and tough.
So I would step forward. Can I look in the chest? See what there is.
Of course, if you can't decide beyond that, you could perhaps, like your companion here, have something commissioned as well.
Okay. Well, I also have another thought in mind if I don't find anything.
All right then. Looking at the chest. That's fair. Looking at the chest, you do find the items that Cerulean had mentioned beforehand. However, you find a few more items. One item seems to be a strange pearl of power, but the way it looks, it kind of has 5 separate marks. Looking upon it, you can tell that it seems strange and... how should I phrase this? Coagular? It's not solid, it's like malleable. When you begin to move it...
like a non-Newtonian fluid almost?
Yeah. When you begin to move it, you are then able to divide. There are 4 colors: red, green, black, and white. When you begin to move it, you accidentally remove the red, and there's now a red pearl of power in your hand, and but a 3-colored coloration of the pearl you were just holding. You then do it again and again, and you remove all 4 colors, and there is a white marble, a black marble, red marble, and green marble.
Swallow it. Yeah, I could just see that ending well.
Now then, this item is known as the Elemental Pearl of Power. Each slot is able to be adjusted to a level 3 spell or lower, and is able to hold that amount. So, the red one can hold a level 3 fire spell and below. Green one, poison spell and below. Black, necrotic spell or below. Level 3 or below. And white, celestial damage or below. And basically, the attribute damage. Radiant, thank you. Celestial. Sorry. I might be thinking of something in the future. Don't worry about it. Anyways, radiant damage or below. So basically, if there's a level 3 spell you can think of, you are able to put it into the pearl, so long as you're able, if someone's able to cast it and put it in. However, when all pearls of power combine, you summon Captain Planet, which is the joke name I gave the bigger pearl. No heart though. Anyways, the bigger pearl is able to infuse a level 6 spell and below. It's stronger, but it's only 1 spell. So, it's stronger, but there's less. For shorthand, you can just call it the Elemental Power Pearl, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, our next item seems to be a strange, long, metallic structured form. It looks like a pole. As you bring it out and swirl it around, you then see that both sides of the ends break apart, and then a chain extends out. I forget the actual name of this weapon, but it's an actual weapon. As you look upon it, you see that one side burns in red flame, and the other one burns in cold iron blue. This is, in my mind, flail. No. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name, which is why I didn't give its proper name. Basically, it's a 3-piece staff, but there's a chain connecting the pieces. Anyways, one side red, one side's blue. Fire damage, blue damage. Ice damage. Frost damage, whatever you want to call it. This is, in my notes, called a Staff of Fire and Ice. The Staff of Fire and Ice does 3d8 damage pools. One damage pool is for... Oh, that's why, because I couldn't pronounce the darn thing. Yes, Iskar, you're correct. Anyways, one is bludgeoning damage, 1d8. Another one is ice damage, 1d8. And another one is fire damage, 1d8. It is able to be modified and adjusted, but with that much strength, it's pretty good on its own. It's also considered a finesse weapon. So, dexterity or strength can be used upon it. You collapse it upon itself and put it back in, unless you want to choose it. Like, looking through, you then find what appears to be a deck of cards. It doesn't have, like, the Joker, Queen, King. It almost seems to represent animals rather than an actual hand of cards, or it's not the... I forgot the name. It's a legendary item. It's not that. As you flip the card around, like in Harry Potter, let's say you picked the owl card, flipped it around. As you flipped it, once you flipped it, inside the image begins to warp, much like a level in Mario 64. And the bird inside begins to move and look at you. You flip it back, and it's a still image once again. Like the item you found before, this is known as a Familiar's Deck, which is likely the rest of the deck you technically found. Well, the rest of the cards you technically found, which is likely part of this deck. You're able to summon a level 8 or below CR creature. to fight along your side. The creature must be from the monster manual, unless the DM thinks it's kind of cool.
How many monsters does the DM think's pretty cool that's not from the monster manual?
A lot. But it'll be your decision to make. And DM's choice if non-monster manual creatures specifically are allowed. Upon choice. But honestly, you're probably good to go. Another item inside seems to be what appears to be a medical book. Opening it, it does give references to the body of a dragon, a human, elf, tiefling. Surprisingly, a lot of information about this weird squid-like creature with a jaw full of tentacles. You're not sure why. And then there's also an image of a giant brain. This book is technically known as a Codex of Biological Information. Whatever you want to call it. It's basically a very fancy way of saying, hey, this is a medical journal filled with all the information you need on how to treat and or damage a body. It will take some time to read and adjust, but after a level up, you will have the information on hand, and you would have, if you don't have proficiency in medicine, you will have proficiency in medicine. If you already have proficiency, it goes up to expertise. Upon that, however, you can also add 1d8 to any damage pool you make on a specific creature of choice per day. So when you wake up, you say, I'm going to remember all the information I know on how to kill this tiefling for some reason. I don't know why you try to kill a tiefling, but if you go and attack a tiefling village or something for who knows what reason, every time you attack, you would add an additional 1d8. But if you attacked the human guard that decided to protect the village, it would not add that 1d8. You're not wrong. That's probably why I thought of it first.
And it comes back.
DM confirmed Oni lover.
Not disputing it. Anyways.
Quick question on that book.
Yes.
Don't forget, I already have expertise in medicine.
Mm-hmm. With expertise in medicine, with the book in tow, you are able to advance that beyond that measure. It will adjust to a plus proficiency bonus added on to the already proficiency bonus. So if you have like a plus 11, it'd be plus 14. Or whatever your proficiency is currently.
4.
Yeah. Yeah, so plus 11, add the 4, plus 15. You're also able to stabilize and heal for 1d4 if someone goes down. It still requires a medicine check, but that is pretty good. Yeah, basically, Rayshana. But up to you to decide. I've played a lot of Pathfinder. Let's just leave it at that. All right, blue. Anyways, there are a couple of other items. You want to hear that as well?
Should we? I don't know if I really have heard
Might as
anything
well.
interesting.
I used my gift.
Hooray.
As well as my wife, so I'll be heading back to Hugh's home now. I am very weary.
Since I have already done so myself, I will join you. With that, these two bounce. You've already been given the information to, hey, come back here in 3 days.
And if nothing comes up, I will actually legitimately spend all 3 days resting.
That's fair. Your body's very broken.
So yeah, I guess find out what the other items are.
Okay, there's 3 more. I'll try to make this quick. I know my descriptions kind of go a little too much. Anyways, one of the items seems to be a strange robe with very decadent coloration upon it. Upon it, you see stars, you see a cloud, you see thunderous roaring sleeves. On the feet, you see what appears to be a fiery flaming burst. I think I made this joke before, but if you've ever seen a 1980s movie, it basically looked like someone's van that you would consider a hippie. Or a very weird Snuggie. Anyways,
That's why I asked, is this actually a robe or is it a onesie?
it's a robe, but it does have a hood. Not all robes have hoods. Anyways, Zen's there or Blue's there. You can probably ask one of them. But expanding upon the information that you have, you can tell that this robe gives you Thunderstep, Fireball, Gaseous Form, and Magic Missile at level 5. This is known as Wonderstainment's Wondercoat. You find the small tag in the little hood. Zen then states, well, I'm going to say Zen identified it. I don't know why it's called that, but it's weird. And I don't know how they even stabilized all that elemental magic together.
That really makes me question if it is stabilized.
That's fair. I don't actually have the identification spell, just what the item can cast. So if we want to get it actually identified, maybe Blue. She was about to say, right? Do you have the spell?
Which one?
Identification.
Yes, I can cast that on it.
We looks towards Tasmar. Do we have time, like, in case we go into a fight? Tasmar chuckles, but based on what you guys have been doing for the last couple of days, is more than fair, and then states, you have all the time you need. If you need to cast this ritually, take your time. In fact, take all the time you need. Technically, I have a meeting with the official court of the city. I don't mind making them wait. Basically, he's just gonna shrug it off. But yeah, Ray, you can cast the identify spell on it.
Okay, I'll cast it
Okay.
ritually.
Okay,
Kind of curious about this meeting
you can
that we
ask.
had.
I mean, we did go through like literally 2 rulers plus an advisor in like literally the course of 24 hours. So
Right.
Yeah, so a meeting needed to be called. But casting identify. Sorry, Martha, I'm going to cut you off because I need to.
Like always rude.
Well, not just you. I cut everyone off. Anyways, castifying it. Blue. I just went with it. Deal with it. You do and are able to tell that all these spells are able to trigger and proc. However, they are only able to be cast once a day and only can choose one. However, they have a 50-50 chance of proccing one by accident. So if you cast Fireball on something, you must roll a d20, 10 and above. One of the other spells goes off without your choice or knowledge in the same general direction. So if you cast Thunderstep, you will be in the position you just pointed at the fireball you just chucked. Or if you cast Magic Missile and do the exact same thing, the Magic Missile will hit your target, that's fine, but you'll be right next to your target after you shot a lot of missiles at them. Or another spell like Gaseous Form, you turn into a cloud and you just be there. You would have a flying speed, but kind of useless in combat for a while unless you just technically it's a control spell. Technically it's a concentration spell, but you're able to unconcentrate from it. It doesn't expend one of your spell slots. It's its own thing, but it's only its own thing once a day. It does recharge after a day, so that's fine, but clearly, Blue, you can tell that this thing is not stabilized. Morthos, you were saying.
I don't know what I was saying. I forgot.
You said, I kind of want to know what's going on in the meeting, and then I said, you
Right.
can ask him if you want, and then you said so, then I cut you off.
So as I kind of root around, I'm going to be like, so Tasmar, may I ask what's happening with this meeting?
Yes, as it stands, we have now positioned someone else in the research and development department in the city itself. It used to belong to, well, it used to belong to a trader, as you know. So we need someone actually with the knowledge and expanse to head the organization now that he is gone. If you have anyone in mind, let me know. But other than that, we also need to beef up security in the position that we stand in, as someone was easily able to, one, clearly now poison the king, and two, clearly now able to murder the next, traitor, next one to be. So we must now position ourselves in a knowledgeable expanse of not only magic, but science itself, and a combination of the two. There are
Okay.
also talks of political unrest and the war itself. It's going to be a very annoying meeting. I would not recommend it if you do not have to go.
Right. Well, Huntsman did.
Tasmar, as jokingly as he has been for a while, I unfortunately have to go, so hooray.
Yeah, those meetings are rough. So pretty much we've gone through all the items now?
No. I said 3, that was 1.
Oh.
One of the items seems to be a strange green blade. It's a long sword. Looking upon it, you can tell that it has strange depictions of a battle once fought before, but the blade itself seems to be almost made of dragon scales. This is a green flame blade. It always has the green flame blade attribute cast upon it.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, as its name seems to suggest, you don't know. You haven't cast Identify. You then cast Identify. Take 10 more minutes. 3rd level.
So it gets the...
Wait, so is it like, because Green Flame Blade is a cantrip which scales off caster level?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
It casts on the wielder's level. So whoever's wielding it is based upon their level.
Okay, that's a bit better.
It's a good weapon, not like something legendary, but it's pretty good. And then the final weapon the final item seems to just be, I think I gave you this item beforehand, or you found it but didn't take it. A spoon! Silver in coloration and hue.
Do we by chance think that it is a fork?
Morthos, go ahead and roll a intelligence save.
Why are you making me roll an intelligence save?
You're looking at it. Now that you think about it, the weird pronged points at the end, it kind of more resembles a fork. You don't know why you thought of spoon. You put it back in the box.
This damn spoon's following us around.
But yeah, those are the items to be, or like he mentioned, you can commission something. Not something legendary, but something good.
Sorry, I just got raided.
I noticed. I'm still on your stream, dude.
Oh, well, I didn't know you were actually watching it.
Well, it's like right next to my monitor.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Anyways, there's the items. Blue asks for a IOU. Morthos, you don't need to decide now if you don't want to. You can say, hey, can I get a rain check? And in that time, he'll likely gather, based on the information in the meeting that is present at hand, more treasures to trove. So there'll likely be more things if you wait, but if you don't get something now, you'll have to wait, and waiting's annoying, at least for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut you off this time.
Fair.
Huntsman, I sent you a message back. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Why not? We'll solve at least one of Tasmar's problems.
And potentially the countries. So, after examining the box and the contents, oh, there's also like a whole bunch of money in there if you just want money. But I didn't think you'd want money.
I still have over 7,000
yeah.
gold.
By the way, it's actual money, not the darn shells that apparently were being used. He's actually going to give
Hey,
you
Ray.
money.
There you go.
Stomped.
Tasmar then states, now then, I don't believe I've ever got... No, I believe it was Zorthos, correct?
Yes.
Now then, Mr. Zorthos, I'm assuming you're of age. You are a farm boy, but I can't tell the ages, I'm afraid. I think you're human. Of your human form. So, forgive me if I mistalk. Forgive me if I am misinformed. But, Sir Zorthos, what can I and my kingdom provide to you today? Or, as your friend has mentioned, tomorrow.
Right. So, something I can explain at a later time. It could benefit you, the kingdom, and us. Sorry, I'm getting sound alerts nonstop from someone. I'm gonna get them back. Oh no, have you heard some of them?
No. Well, there was like a small one that I heard. I didn't actually hear the words. It was like, what's it?
Well, this last one was sniffing cocaine off butts.
Oh wow, I was way off.
Yeah, so that's happening. Anyway, I gotta make sure I state this right. You could try. That's what I would say. I would try. I'm gonna try for this one. Everyone's getting hitched except for Morthos.
Oh,
Oof.
decisions. But yeah, take your time, Morthos.
So I actually had a little help with this. The titles and assets to those formerly possessed by Anderson Foster.
So you want that responsibility?
Well, we have people that could help maintain it while if I have to be away. I don't know if I should explain to them about Rusty. I might as
Or
well.
Gustav. Or literally anyone of that guild.
from the town that we have come from, there's a. Are they classified as a blacksmith's guild or?
They're classified as ironworks, a blacksmith's guild that expands beyond the city borders and grounds. They themselves work beyond the borders as well, so their ironworks does do work in your current kingdom, King of Isle, the Kingdom of Mist, the Kingdom of Frost, the Kingdom of Dust, and the Kingdom of Water.
So we have connections with ironworks. And we actually have a friend who used to work alongside, well, that I used to work alongside myself. He's quite skilled in smithing and other aspects that could actually help to maintain and run things there. While I might be away helping my friends with situations. If, that was to happen where we had to leave.
You do see he goes underneath his mask with one of his hands, and then you hear a pitch-curdling whistle. It begins to vibrate in the area, and everything for a moment, I'll explain it this way. Zold, as you're walking back to the area that you were, Cerulean in tow, even though her token's still there because I didn't want to delete it just in case. Zold's gone off the map, by the way. Arceus, if you're looking for him. Anyways, you then begin to move Zold into town, back to the bed you knew and loved that one night. Although it was a one-night stand, you're going back for seconds. After all, sleep is a very tempting mistress. As you begin to walk in, you then hear a strange, almost piercing noise in your ears. You look behind you, and people begin to almost freeze in motion, in position where they're at. People are talking, and then they just stop talking, but their mouths are still open. They're doing the same gestures. People are not simply freezing, as the world itself is still moving. The wind is being heard. The smells of the bread in the area and stalls. You yourself, Cerulean, are still moving, but everything else seems to be in a stasis. Back in the castle, Mortho, Zen, Blue, and Q all see that the guards in tow freeze in position. They were already frozen at attention, but now they're actually frozen. The robotic guards also are frozen in tow. Tasmar then states, "Alright then. I have selected your team and my own ward," looks towards his guard, "as people that are only able to hear this. And actually do something about it. Won't be for long. Now, you said and have someone in mind. I can get something forged to make sure that they have the qualifications needed. If I'm sure they do have them already, but they actually need recognition and standing. If they are part of Ironworks, that is enough information I can work with to make sure that they advance very well and very prominently, and already have a reputation in tow. Sending out flyers, informants, to have people with branches of Ironworks company around already knowing of him. With a reputation already fancifully made and pre-written, he will come into the field without anyone budging. And if someone does budge, it'll be more of a way to make sure that everyone around me is who they say they are, which will work to my benefit, so you are correct in that. And if they are skilled and trained, even better. That said, though, they will have to do with a lot of politics. If they are capable with that, I will more than welcome them.
I'm sure we could find someone to deal with the politics side.
Slight problem, maybe?
What?
Well, they're not human, and not human people don't seem particularly welcome here.
Yes.
Am I able to respond to this?
You can come back. Like you can we can say you rush back to the castle to see if everyone is okay.
It's really
No, I was
dragging
just
in.
not sure how this like whole like I can hear it, but I'm like super far away is like working.
You heard the whistling cry, but you aren't hearing their voices. What
I'm just going to assume things are okay because they haven't tried to contact me on our comms.
That's fair. Like this is a high level spell that Tasmar has. He has 3 spells that charge every other day. This is a high Chronomancer spell. Don't worry about it. But this is how he's doing it.
Chronomancer.
Time Magician!
I know.
But if he flips the coin, does baby dragon advance to adult super dragon?
Oh, damn, I didn't
But
even think of that joke.
But does it also make Dark Magician into Dark Sage in the biggest ass pool of the series?
I've hit a nerve. Anyways, so unfortunately it does not. For the sake of this, you don't completely know what's going on, but you don't hear from your companion, so everything will likely be okay. It's easy to understand that. He really should have lost that fight. Yes, I completely agree. Total bull. But protagonist powers. Tasmar then looks to you. About that. I don't mean to sound rude, and I don't mean to sound like a tyrant. But part of the meeting is to make sure, with the help of your ally that you have made for some reason, and I don't know how you made it, will be helping me to make sure that everyone is on an even and level playing field. I will be basically forcing everyone's hands with either blackmail, persuasion, or charm, likely blackmail or threats, to see eye to eye with that topic. So if they do join, I will make sure if there's any unrest, it'll be quenched, or at the very least hard to do. This is one of the reasons why I froze everyone in place. Kind of didn't want them to hear that part. Oh, so I only have a minute left before this spell wears off.
So, kind of look at Blue and what do you think? Should we go through with it? Because there's other things there that we need to deal with.
I think it sounds good.
That would be my request then.
You see him go underneath his mask, make that sound again, quickly move his hand away, and back at the market where Zold technically is, looking around, not seeing any trouble. You're wondering to yourself, everything seems fine though, so you continue to walk. As you walk in tow, the market begins to come alive again. You hear the voices of the crowd, the sounds, the bread is still there but not doing anything. Whatever just happened seemed to be in a located area. The expanse of likely a good mile, but not likely beyond that, as you still heard birds chirping and animals as such. But the people themselves, their familiars, their pets, froze in this town. But the world did not. So it's a strong, whatever happened was strong, but not world-shattering. In the meantime, back at the court, everyone seems to be moving. You hear the breathing of the people, the strange gearing sounds, roaring, mechanical constructs alive again, and Tasmar then states, "So, do you think he'll be able to deal with politics? I will state this, however. He will likely become fabulously wealthy due to the way you phrased that. He will receive a lot of patents and a lot of, let's say, security contracts."
That would probably work out very well. He is what would be known as an artificer.
Ah.
So he does have knowledge in crafting and enchanting.
Oh, very well then. It shouldn't be an issue. I will likely be able to make sure he's able to get the job and get everything else.
And I believe we might be able to have another friend, if needed, be kind of the political side for him. We have a lot of connections there.
Let's put it this way then. He will be the head of the R&D department, but you can have a group, posse, companions, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they'll be to him, but a team, let's say, to back him up. If you have names, I'd be more than willing to hear you out.
All right. Then, like I said, that would be my request.
Oh, so if I did say nervous pisser, that's my bad. I'm just looking at Akios' stream.
I don't think anyone said that. I mean, it's Hubert.
Who knows? He could be.
He should get some of the clips we have of him and Chubbs. They're pretty awesome. Especially when the killer went straight to her bush.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're your own bush, you can mess with it all you want. If it's someone else's, you gotta ask permission, man.
It's the entity's bush.
Regardless of the bad jokes. He then states, very well then. He looks at his right-hand man, backs him over, he hands him a piece of paper. Tasmar writes something very quickly, very well. And then he comes over and hands it to you, Morthos. It's a very elegant and very filigree piece of paper that basically documents, doesn't have a name on it, but basically states, those in question and those in mind have been deemed worthy to inherit the R&D department and all qualification connections hereby tied to it. Name said affiliate, you put a name here, and those associated with him. There are other lines you can fill in that will have names. Will hereby be granted said titles and such. Granted hereby the said signature of one Zorthos. Please sign here. He puts and points to the very bottom of this more or less binding contract. It's not really a contract, it's more like legal paperwork. So no, it won't magically curse you if you put Zorthos.
Well, I would probably have to put my real name. Though he obviously knows this isn't the real me.
At this point in time, you can probably best guess he knows.
Yeah, I mean, he has true sight. We know that. So I'll put my actual name down so it's legitimate.
Upon signature, he doesn't even look at it and simply furls it together. Comes back over, hands it to Tasmar. Tasmar takes it, unfurls it. Before he unfurls it, his right-hand man walks away, looks at it, nods, refurls it, and then states, very good then. Do keep in mind and do keep in check what you have and will decide. The names will be filled out upon request and once given your card and signature. So if they have, looks towards his companion, again, yes sir, hand him, looks towards Zorthos, like, looks towards Morthos. Do you think 8 people might be enough? You can do less than 8, but what do you think? 8 a good number?
Kind of look at Zen and Blue. What do you guys think?
Might be a little much, but he said we could do less.
should we start it at 5?
What are these people for?
The team that would be associated with the head of the R&D department. Basically, if you want other people to be assigned to Rusty's team, you can. He's just going to basically give you 8 pieces of paper that will have Morthos's documented signature that you give these people these papers.
Well, when do they need to be sent out? I can try contacting him shortly to see what he has to say on the matter.
He is on his way. Rusty is. He's supposed to be. Due to I had come across an orphan, now 2, that have a lot of skill in crafting already as children. And I was actually going to see if he would apprentice them. And I would still like to see that happen.
Keep in mind that once you know of the person you want to have deem this job worthy to them, you will have to think of them within your mind, rip the paper up, and then the paper will manifest itself in front of the governed person, provided with a missive.
So probably just have Blue get a hold of Rusty.
So I can get a hold of Rusty, ask him for the names of the people at the workshop, then contact them to make them the offer, and go from there.
Yeah. Like the people you know are Rusty, Gustav. Is she technically part of Ironworks?
Absolutely.
Sarah now
Sarah?
she is. She got moved in.
Yeah, that's true. She got moved in. The other ones are quite skilled and well trained, could easily work for them, but you don't technically know their name.
Yeah. That would probably be the best approach, I would say.
The other ones that you know that might be highly skilled or trained are Ramon, who you technically haven't seen each time you went back into town. Other than that, it could be dealer's choice, but I'm just reminding you of him.
We should also give it to Star for,
Oh yeah, the magic consultant.
drugs.
Great. So she can push her drugs more.
Someone else's
Yeah.
drugs. They're
So
not
there's
hers.
Star, there's Ironworks, and I do. Okay, this is outside of character.
Yeah.
I had talked to Huntsman about this previously, earlier today. I actually want to talk to Phil about having one of the Foundation teams go in and monitor everything to make sure we can keep the Chaos Insurgency out. And also because of containment for 682.
Yeah, for sure. Once the R&D head is established, which will be done tomorrow, Rusty's quite literally coming in tomorrow. Took him 4 days to get here, which is quite impressive. Anyways, once he's established, he can have his own security drones or bring in his own separate contractors. It's just you're securing a potential of 8 jobs. If you don't want to use all those 8, you don't have to. But since you never really answered, Gen comes over, hands you like a booklet of what basically it amounts to business cards. There's 8 in total. Before he walks away, he does state, "Now then, you think of the person and you rip it up, and then you provide to them a missive. It can be, hey, if you're looking for a job, come to the capital and Tasmar will provide this to you. Make sure you keep the card and that will give you authority over what is to happen." Or more getting into detail, it's like a sending spell but less strong, as each one must be in the same material plane.
Well, that's what I was going to actually ask. So, technically, can we reserve a few of those jobs if we don't need them right away? And if they need them later, they can fill them.
Yes, this is likely why Tasmar had recommended 8 rather than going lower. Looks towards his technical captain. Tasmar nods and agrees. More than likely true. But they also have their own people, which is likely why he made sure to give you enough that if their people are still corrupted, you would have a good fighting force inside. I myself will be stationed there to make sure no one causes any trouble, and to root out anyone by force if necessary. You then see his eyes turn a pitch red, which you have seen Morthos before when using your Devil Sight. That's kind of technically what happens with you. This guy, however, is an Aasimar.
Okay, that's interesting.
He might just be really into fighting and kind of can't do it because of his current station.
All right, so we'll contact everyone and get things set up.
All right. You contact Rusty, you contact Gustav, Sarah, and whoever else you want to name names. You don't have to use all of them again. We can come up with the details later. But you do so, and it ends so. In the meantime, Tasmar then states, "All right then. Give one to Miss Blue as well." Yes, sir. Comes over, hands Ray/Blue a card. However, it does have the name Blue on it. Oh wait, this is Tasmar. He still wouldn't know your name technically. So yeah, he would put Blue. Now then, Miss Blue, as stated beforehand, you think of a person and you rip it up along with a missive. In that regard, Tasmar himself would be contacted once you have decided on your own present gift and or treasure that you have deemed valuable enough that it would belong to you. In which such case we'll come into contact with you and provide you with any details and or items we can provide to you that day. Is that clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Very well then. He extends his hand out for a handshake.
Blue will take it and shake his hand.
As you shake his hand, you see a strange coloration form within his eyes. Morthos, you saw that weird flame. Blue, however, you see what appears to be his eyes change into a very, not crimson, but the intensity of a crimson green iris hue. You're not exactly sure why that happened, but you can tell it wasn't an involuntary action. He nods and simply walks away.
Okay, I'm gonna wait till he gets back to where he was standing.
He's back where he's standing.
And I'm gonna kind of watch him for a moment and see if he's just like, where is he looking?
The room.
He's not looking at anything in particular.
No, he's like a good person. He technically is a good person.
Like a good boy.
Like a good security officer. He is looking at the room's expanse. His perspective is actually quite high. His perception is technically a 22, which is almost on par, because I think she has 23 with Q. So he's not really looking at anyone. He's not like spying Zen to see if she has a bladed weapon that she's about to hurl at the current ruler and heir. Or looking at Ray/Blue to see if this is a spy in disguise. No, he's just looking around, making sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
You can ask him what's going on. Both of you have enough passive perception that you caught it, and it's not hidden from you. It's just a detail I didn't give you beforehand because he didn't really interact with you.
Might I inquire as to what that was with your eyes just now?
Oh, Sure. It doesn't happen a lot since I don't really come into contact with anyone unless I'm fighting them. But I'm able to establish and connect with someone's own original point. Um, it's a trait that my family has. It's not necessarily a grand gift, which is why I'm only a security officer. Tasmar then interrupts him. It is a fine enough gift, especially since it will have the original point in time that one belongs to, or the domain one belongs to. His again nods and then states to you. Basically, it will allow me to. It'll form an origin point to the person that I have come into contact with. I technically won't know what it is, but the people that are around me would be able to see that. In your case, I shook your hand, and I think you're disguised as a human. My eyes would have likely turned into, if you came from a forest, a pale green. If you came from a ocean town, a light blue. However, if you, let's say, were an elf, there'd be a almost intense emerald green color. If you came from or have an origin point from, let's say, the Nine Hells, fiery red flame. It's difficult and hard to translate. I myself had taken years to do so. Basically, I am able to tell your origin. But you would have to tell me the details in order for me to tell you. So it's not that great, which is why I kind of just fight things.
I see. Interesting.
It can also give details on what you have experienced in the past as well, but it's a nuanced information pool. I don't know details, just presence of emotion at points and times in your life that have been dramatic to the degree that it's embedded into your soul. Again, security guard though doesn't help me, especially since I'm just bringing out my glaive or my blade to strike someone down, or to threaten them, maim them. I just realized I'm a very violent Aasimar. Still though, it's a good job. Pays well. Doesn't pay in shells. I have to buy a lot of things from the black market. You didn't hear that.
Yes, well, I suppose we shall be on our way.
Again, then states, do take care, and may... what was the god I worshipped again? May Soul's guiding light ever be present upon you. Tasmar nods, looks towards him. He doesn't keep most of his information together. But he's a good man, highly skilled, highly trained, but... well, I'm guessing a lot of you could probably be on par with him. But to the rest of you and to those that have yet to decide, do take care and do come again. I've most definitely enjoyed your company, but it has been a very violent couple of days. So try not to make as much noise.
Yes. If you'll excuse us, we'll be on our way and enjoy your meeting.
Right. Still that. When this happens, Zen then states, do you mind if I actually ask for my thing? To the group, not to Tasmar.
I have no objections.
Zorthos doesn't say anything.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear over the blurps that are getting played again.
Zen moves forwards, taking her step in tow as you begin to walk out, but like slowly, so you're actually still there. Zenvin states, before actually Tasmar can basically go with the whole charade, presentational speech that a king or someone of a higher status would say, Zenvin states, now, before I lose strength in this, I want you to first speak with my family members here about the situation at hand and present. I want you to get all detailed information about who the people are hunting me down. No, I'm not done. Sorry. First, it's the Fey family and the Underdark family. Second, they had hired someone from the black market that deals with espionage work and some kidnapping. I want you to make sure that whoever they sent out, the person in tow and those that are higher than him, all the way up to their likely boss, so long as it doesn't interrupt the flow of strength and power within the kingdom itself, I want you to go ahead and hunt them down and do what you will, but I prefer them to die so I have no vendettas against me. That is not what I expected from you. I've had a very couple... It's been a tiring week. I got married, my family got disowned, I disowned my higher family, I got married, my best friend didn't know about it, and I'm panicking about that. She begins to ramble, and then Tasmar kind of politely stops her. Right. I will speak with them, get all the information and evidence. I will make sure that you are not harmed by these people and those that they have hired. Oh no, I don't care if they come against me. I am more than willing to take them down. I just really don't want my friends to go and hunt down the black market dealers for me. They haven't done enough. I just want my friend, the one I spoke about, I'm currently very afraid of what she's going to say to me the next time we speak, to enjoy her honeymoon. This was supposed to be a vacation. I will make sure she can. Zen then sighs. Thanks. Sorry I unloaded all that. It's more than fair. It seems that it's been on your mind for quite some time. If you need to speak, Gen is a good listener. He's not a great talker, but he's a good listener. Thanks. Honestly, I'm just glad I said it out loud, but I'll probably be fine. Did I mention I got married? A couple times, yes.
So did we walk away, or are we still here?
You're like at the edge of the door when she just stated all this. So you heard most of that. She then joins you as you walk out. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well then, are we heading back to Q's place?
Probably. I think Zord's there and Cerulean's there. Yeah. Unless we want to go back to, Roanoke, but do you have enough magic to get there? I mean, we still need to go back to Q's to make sure, that those two are also with us.
Well, unfortunately, my having the required magic isn't the issue. There's still no portal there for me to use, so...
Oh yeah, we were using... she then stops herself. Someone else's magic on that. Okay, we could probably just... I think it worked long distance, at least in this town. We could probably send out a message to Phil, to tell him the job's been completed. At least that way we'll get paid.
Yeah, also, I had a in-game action ban done on me. I'm not allowed to travel.
I want to nerf that ability, as letting your Twitch chat control your in-game actions seems a little counterintuitive to enjoying Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Well, technically still in the same town, so you can like walk around. That's not technically traveling. That's just going outside. But with that though, you guys head back to Q's place. Let's see, Capital Bishop Estate. Hey, 25 gold is good chump change. It's just small numbers to how much you guys have found on the job. Let's say found.
Tactically acquired.
Still. Anyways, back at the house, you are able to all meet up. Things are a little awkward. Not to the degree that you aren't able to speak, but Q's, whenever she gets a chance, goes behind someone to lose sight of Cerulean. Zen stands her ground, but does not overstep.
Zold is still using Cerulean as a crutch or pillow at every opportunity, both as comfort and as a way to avoid a fight.
That's fair. Thankfully enough, with the information given and provided, Iskar, Morthos, Blue/Ray, and Q, you're all able to tell that the town is now more or less saved. The problems that still remain in the town, you have more or less fixed by the favors of the current ruler and heir. In the coming days, you have time to actually relax instead of going onto a mission. You have been into town, you have traveled, and you have looked around. And you can always go back to places you have been, or maybe new locations, or just rest, as you have not
Certain
rested
people need to rest.
for the last couple of days. You do know Rusty's coming in tomorrow around noonish, and he'll actually speak with the king about the prospective job, which in turn, Gan is currently heading towards the R&D department of the city, called Anderson's Robotics. So he himself will make sure no one disturbs until he gets there. As such, the creature inside will not be tampered with. That being stated, Zen's problem with the mob is technically not going to be a problem anymore. You do know that the current status of any non-humans within the residence of the estate and or city will also be flattened down instead of curved, which in turn means that no one tomorrow, it's still going to be a problem today, but no one in the future will have the issues you guys had to deal with. Sure, there'll still be some unrest, but that is technically now going to be illegal if people don't do what they need to do. As that stands, though, you managed to save a city, managed to save a country, and managed to save yourselves. One of you went to a honeymoon, which clearly is going to waste right now. And another of you got married, and clearly may be panicking right now. But the rest of you two, Ray, you could get your complete tuition covered and cleared, or ask for something else, which might be fruitful based on the information that Morthos and everyone else has given you. And Morthos, you have things that you might and can do still in the city. There are people here that know more about you than you know about you. But for now, you rest. You spend a couple of hours just talking idly. Ray likely reading a book. Morthos, there's no technically there's no graveyard here because it's in the forest, but Morthos has to stick around for a bit. Q and Zen chit-chat about current events, and Cerulean and Zold kind of sit there stoically. And for the first time in a long while, you could actually just sit down and don't have to do anything. and we'll
I
take it
actually
from here.
have something. Oh, we're taking a break.
No, and we'll take it from here. But it's
like,
been a
oh.
while, so like 5-minute break, if everyone's cool with that.
Yes.
Yeah, good. I'm good with that. Let me pour another drink, maybe not as stiff this time, and use the restroom.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab a drink too.
Yeah, no problem. I will still be here. I don't know about you, Morthos, but I will still be here.
I'm going to switch over to my phone. So we're just taking a quick break.
Yeah, like
Stretch
5 minutes.
time and stuff. I'm going to step outside for a moment. Yell at me, Chubbs. Go for it. I know you're going to. But yeah.
Do
I'm
it.
holding my push to talk. I am so sorry you've been listening to this. This is me talking to the community. Didn't do it. Hey, I haven't had one in over 2 hours, so I'm doing really good.
That's a good streak. A good burn.
Yeah. I am. So you know my plan. I'm actually going to be following up on one of my other things.
It's kind of why I vaguely mentioned it, yes.
But, well, I'm not worried about the order. I'm worried about a certain person I left at a church.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm going to go take care of that situation.
Yeah, and it's not like you technically know it, but you person technically knows it. You can probably tell why the churches now don't like Cerulean. Because technically, if any deity or higher divine being tries to connect with her, either by possession or trying to give her a blessing, they'll get hurt and potentially die. In essence, she is more or less...
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hold on. I just realized what I did.
Oh no.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, still can.
Okay. I forgot to turn my Bluetooth headset on
Oh no.
so I can go outside. Yeah, I have earbuds.
Oh, nice.
They're like $5 at the dollar store.
Oh yeah.
Because my old earbuds were dying. And a dogma, I was going to point this out, and don't worry, my stream is muted at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Someone kind of blew you out of the water on taking first place.
First place of what?
I don't know if you for the bits used.
Oh, you bastards! I can't get bits because the commercials won't play for me. So I am super upset about that.
Well, you'd have to get 1,500. Hubage has been playing sound alerts nonstop throughout the entire stream.
It takes me like a week to get 200, and the
I have returned.
welcome back. I don't know why, but the stupid commercials you had to see to get the free bits, well, air quotes, free bits, aren't playing for me for the last couple of weeks. So I got nothing.
It's Twitch. It is straight up Twitch. Twitch has been on a fucking hellacious issue after issue.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
No, it's to the point that you can't even use chat. Like, people watching the streams, you say I was watching your stream, I wouldn't be able to type in your chat. It wouldn't let me.
Yeah, like there was a massive delay when I was streaming the other day. I didn't have a very big chat audience. It doesn't really matter. But the people I was talking with, like, I didn't notice it at first, but when I looked back at the video, The chat was like delayed by a good portion. It was pretty bad. Also, I'm pretty sure. Welcome back, right?
I think it's Huntsman.
It says Rishana.
Well, I'm not at my computer or anything, so I can't see.
Nah, no problem. But yeah, like since your stream is muted and since you guys are here, I think, I'm pretty sure you guys know why the churches don't like Cerulean, and in turn why Cerulean doesn't like them.
Necrotic energy flowing through her veins, and all kinds of jazz like that. She's worse than a demon. She's almost a lich. Is Cerulean a lich?
More or less, she is a corruption that the gods can't connect with.
Wait, fuck, I'm in that same boat now.
In a sense,
Yeah.
her actual wish made her that. Yours was with death.
So technically, you are connected to a greater being. I don't know. Are there angels of death still seen in D&D?
Well, if I sprout wings, I'll let you know.
If he sprouts wings and eats apples, then you know you'll have a problem.
What was it when someone asked
Damn
if I
it!
had player actions? I said, fuck around and find out.
Damn it, a dogma! Go to your fucking corner.
As I go to my corner, I take a bite and I eat it. I know it was wrong.
And then you get caught several episodes later due to plot convenience.
But no,
That was such a stupid scene.
that was
The series went downhill after Elle died. Spoiler
So-
alerts.
definitely. We know a certain Fae Queen is going to be really pissed off.
Maybe.
More than likely.
Yeah, I've broken deals with the Fae more than twice now, which is more than the 0 times literally everyone else has done.
Yeah.
So that's a little sketch.
I mean, with 1, you get cursed. With 2, you die. With 3, well, with 3,
You're just something. I mean, we might as well just, Iskar, name him an angel of death, because that's all that is around him. We were
Literally
talking about that
tattooed on
earlier.
I mean, Ray, is that really
Well, no,
a bad
I'm-
thing? Oh, it is. You're technically married, so it would be a bad thing.
How fucked up is your child gonna be?
Watch it. They're gonna be a perfectly normal functioning member of society who's like, yeah, my parents were fucked, but I'm okay.
Yeah, me and Huntsman were talking about if, we finish up the SCP campaign, if we do a continuation, what we might do.
Oh, also the Kingdom of Waters inserted name here because I couldn't think of one. I'll probably call it like Aquas or something.
I swear there was a...
What?
That was the name of a kingdom in a game I played. I can't remember which game. Or it was very close in name.
I can see that. It's basically like Aqua or like Aquamarine. It's basically water.
So yeah, while everyone's resting, I know what I'm going to be working on.
Also, you can visit the other kingdoms. They're not technically part of the campaign. Well, like Mist is, but if you want to visit the other kingdoms, you can.
Well, okay, I may have missed this information. The war that's going on, is that between this kingdom and another kingdom?
It's a neighborhood dispute, technically. Well, not a neighborhood dispute. Basically, considered two kingdoms at war because they can't align or assign where specifically the border is. So with that, scrimmages are played out. War tactics are heard. Basically, it's a guerrilla war fight and a trench war that has yet to end. In order to combat this, people have been sent out, strong soldiers, which is why there's no real strong soldiers in town, except for like a handful of people, which is why they had to be refilled in with robotics tech and like rando people that they had hired due to the fact that they wanted to and that they needed the numbers. They couldn't have quality, so they went with quantity.
Like good old John and his critting 2 times when everyone else missed. God,
Yeah.
I love that bastard.
Like he's in the game now. He looks completely different than his generic token. So if you guys see him in the map, I'll point him out. He's in a
Okay.
spot as actual NPC. But yeah.
I'm about to switch back to my computer real quick.
But yeah, it's the Kingdom of Isle, which is your kingdom, and the Kingdom of Mist. The Kingdom of Mist is to the east of you. Isle is technically in the middle. Frost is to the north, Dust is to the south, and Aquas / the Kingdom of Water is to the west. Again, the other kingdoms, except for Mist, one town, is not technically part of the campaign, but there's stuff written for it if you want to just travel.
All right, let's do this.
Quick question.
Yes.
Was it this campaign that had a flying city or something full of magical wonders and whatnot?
Yeah, it was in the bordering town of the Kingdom of Frost and the city you guys went to beforehand. And then you completely wiped the memory of that one, not nice, but not completely mean NPC. It was known as Arcadia. One of the joking nicknames of Arcadia is the Flying Whale. Due to the shape and size of the thing, it quite literally looks like a flying whale. But yes, it was this campaign. It's hard to get there, and unless you know how to get there, it's damn near impossible. One of the ways that you can force your way in is climbing to the top of the mountains in the bordering lands of Frost and Mist, and seeing and hoping beyond hope that you are in the right place at the right time. There is a very secret magic circle that your school knows. Sometimes, if you're selected to go, some associates, affiliates, and students go on a field trip to Arcadia. Last year, before you entered into field work due to the fact that you could no longer pay for your tuition, well, you couldn't beforehand, but, you know, debt is debt, and a lot more debt is a lot worse debt, so you decided to take a job. Unfortunately, you could not pay for the rest of your tuition, or at least for that semester, so you could not join them at the event, even though you were chosen. So you never got to see what was in the stars and clouds. I did not double up on names. I just didn't tell you they were connected. Well, I did. I just made damn well sure. If you remembered, you remembered. But if you forgot, well, that's on you. But here we are. Anyways, after a while, Morthos, you said you had an idea of what you wanted to do.
One moment.
And to those in Akios' chat, field trips are pretty bad, but a field trip to a magical kingdom of very high tech magical spell orientation infused within the very bindings of the world it houses and the homes that stand there. Also pretty bad since you're going with the school. But with a couple of friends, it might make it better.
For all the chaos you could cause.
At least this team. I mean, you're on vacation now. I have no idea what you guys would do there. But yeah. Anyone else, while Morthos is thinking, have a plan they decide to commit to for today?
Literally, I'm just okay with relaxing and waiting until my commission is ready.
Sounds good. What about you, Ray?
Still not sure.
That's fair. I mean, you're stuck in a city that you are slightly familiar with, but, you know, the slightly familiar with part is almost dying, getting attacked, getting blown up, going shopping for like a couple of hours, and then almost drowning, coming back up, getting attacked, noticing that Zen and Q got married, saving a city, saving a country, saving the king. You could probably check if the king's doing better, but regardless of that, murdering the potential future king. Second son doesn't want it, so third son will get it until the king recovers or something else is to fall. Either him being crowned permanently, or who knows, maybe he's truly the bad guy and decides to kill his father, and all this was a ploy. Probably not, but you never know. This is D&D. But regardless of that, coming back, saving the city, saving the country, getting in the IOU, and now you have downtime. And that was just in 3 days.
Yay, downtime.
You definitely deserve it. In that downtime, Zen did go shopping. She got Zol the beanbag chair. So he can just lay in it, doesn't have to move, and will hold his body together better than a bed, but it'll be annoying to get back up from it.
I will spend one night in the beanbag chair.
It is amazingly comfortable. As you lay on it, you can tell that it is quilled rather than stuffed with something. Like, feeling the actual pressure of it, you look... I don't think Zold would do this, or Iskar would do this. But looking and examining it, seeing what exactly this thing is made of, because it's so damn comfortable. Opening it up, you can tell that it's laced with feathers of an owlbear. It's strong, it's sturdy, and it should be stiff, based on the amount of owlbear feathers it's on it. Looking at the material that the actual cushion is made out of, you can tell that this is sleek and very warm and form-fitting. It provides you with plenty of comfort, plenty of heat, but not too much that it just get way too sweaty. Whatever this material is, Zen paid a lot of money for it. Maybe this is her way of getting back at Cerulean's good graces? Or maybe she's just making sure, as she has been this entire time, people are comfortable. But yeah, this thing was expensive. And Zen currently doesn't have a lot of money.
Do I need to give Zen some money?
You don't. Well, if you want to, but you didn't see her. I assume you didn't go shopping with her.
I tried to avoid that.
Yeah, that's fair. I I mean, Q might know how much she spent, but she just came back with a beanbag chair one day and gave it to his car. It's gonna take me a while.
Again, changed for Feywild purposes.
Of course. In the meantime, she also gave you guys a few other things. It's not like the shawl or scarf you guys got beforehand. She collects those to make sure that they don't get hidden. So if you still have the scarf, please remove it from your character sheet. If any of you still need it, she will begrudgingly hand it back to you. Only because if she doesn't give it back within 2 days, she will have to pay for the entire set.
How much was the entire set again?
She doesn't like to talk about it.
Too much, then.
Okay. Well, either way, I need to go looking into something. You know,
Okay. So, you heading to church?
I'm heading to church. Ah, she's right there.
Oh, that's weird. I thought I set you up. Whatever. Oh, I did. Just keeping guard of the actual church. Your companion that you technically went to a dance with, but then immediately bailed on. Well, no, technically she bailed on you. Just waves at you as you head inside. Ah, you look different today. New haircut?
Just not hidden.
Well, then, am I wrong?
I guess not.
Thank you. So I enjoyed the dance the other day. I did not like that someone usurped the king, but, you know, politics were never my thing.
Yeah, they weren't ever really my thing, but I may have gotten myself involved in them more. But that's a tale for another day.
Yeah, well, they waited for you, so go on in. I assume you heard the kid try to sneak out a couple times.
Oh, I kind of figured he would.
Yeah, he's fine. He's confined to his room. It's currently locked. We don't like to do that, but you know,
Well-
the kid's smart. He's apparently able to break out of anything.
Well, we might be able to keep him busy long enough to hopefully save his friend.
That's more than fair. Oh, so just to be clear, since you guys seem to deal with a lot, he technically can't break out of anything. Well, he can break out of stuff, but with the lock enchantments, he's not able to break out of that. Like anything mundane, he can pretty much lockpick, which is quite impressive, but also a very bad skill to pick up at his age.
I know other people that picked up some skills that are questionable.
With your crowd and the first time we met, I am honestly not that surprised. But anyways, here to see the father.
Yes, and then to retrieve Dawn. I actually had to scroll up to look at the name.
It's Dusk
Then-
and Dawn. The other kid that technically is still missing is Dusk.
Right. All right. Well, it was good talking to you.
Same to you. They're inside.
Okay. I'll just move all the way up.
You move all the way up, and then surprisingly enough, there's not that many people to hear. You like check the door of Dawn. You see that there's a magical insignia symbol cast upon it called Close. You read it as Close at the very least. It's probably not the name of the spell that has been enchanted upon it. But it seems that, yeah, the kid's in trouble.
Nice to see you both again.
welcome back. It, actually, does he? Yeah, I think he does know this is your. Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Remember.
I revealed myself.
Yeah. Eel then states, "Oh, welcome back. Glad to see you seem more fit to be yourself. Yes, it's far preferable, to be perfectly honest. In fact,
Well,
kind of remind me of the people. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
what?
Oh, well, as you know, my current form is a amalgamation of people that helped me in my past, as I've told you the story beforehand, before they died. You kind of resemble the man and the woman. Just like some attributes about you that closely resemble but are not quite there.
Was it a tiefling and a bright maid?
Yes. I thought they were some sort of celestial being, but I didn't exactly get details.
Those were my parents.
Well, this is awkward. I kind of. Do you want me to turn back into the thing I am?
No. That's why I was hidden.
I mean, if you're afraid of being hunted down, which is more than fair, since you've been being hunted down your entire life, I can probably train you in the art of transformation.
That probably would be useful.
It'll take a couple days, though, so it won't be something you immediately pick up.
Well, I think I'll have the time, but we can talk about that here later. My
More-
real reasoning for being here is about Dawn. I may have kind of gotten a more fitting home for him, one that he may be more comfortable with.
Yule then states, he does have a home here.
Well, I know him and Dusk being so close, they're both very skilled in crafting. So I actually had contacted a friend about coming and meeting Dusk to take him on as an apprentice.
Oh!
Unfortunately, Dusk is still missing, and I'm hoping we can find him still. But Dawn has a... Now, it was Dawn that had the higher skill in the crafting, right?
Dawn technically has a higher skill in crafting and apparently breaking out of things. Dusk is getting more refined in that skill, but you can already tell he was very good at what he is doing. It's
Right.
crude, but very efficient. He also has a higher perceptible skill in observing and quite literally problem solving. Basically,
Right.
Dawn is intelligent, but a brute force. No, not a brute force. Is intelligent,
Cunning.
but a little too cunning for his own good. Dusk is a little crude, but will get the job done. Even though you actually only met the person once. And then they went missing. Even after you were warned.
Yeah. But no, I have a friend who is a crafter, and he was actually coming to possibly take Dusk on as an apprentice, but some things have changed. He probably will not be leaving the city now, as I have become kind of I've taken on ownership of the Anderson Robotics, and my friend will be working there. So
that would explain the commotion we heard about. Well, since you're here, you might as well know. We do have some plants within the city itself. One of them is in Anderson's Robotics. From what I've heard, someone is being assigned to that, but we didn't exactly know who.
There was the owner that turned traitor against the kingdom.
How unfortunate. Someone very bright to lose themselves in the darkness.
So I have taken over, I guess, technical ownership of Anderson Robotics, and because of the friends I have people that can do the work that's required there, and I was going to have Don go there to start an apprenticeship.
Of course, that's more than fair. As I mentioned beforehand, he does have a home here, but once he comes of age, his parents basically kicked him out, and he had to get himself an apprenticeship. So I don't think they'll want it. Well, I don't think he'd be allowed back home. The elves are a little
Asinine.
Yes, I didn't want to say the word, as we are technically in my church. You know.
Yeah, you're trying to be respectful here. As you know, my backstory a little more now. Churches and me don't always get along.
Yes, for some reason, I don't know why, but when your friend, the one with blue, no, she technically disguised herself as. What did Cyrano disguise herself as? I think it was just an elf. Your elf friend. For some reason, when they entered into the domain of the church itself, my patriarch, not patriarch, I'm using the wrong word again. The god that I worship in the Council of Five told me to keep an eye on them and to never trust them. I don't know why, though.
There's reasonings that is their own that put them outside the influence of the gods, I would say. But it's just the hand that they were dealt.
That seems more than fair. If they can't be reasoned, connected, tithe, cursed by my god's will or power, and if what you're saying is true, that is more than a clear justification for them to always be wary about them. After all, if you have no control over someone, even though you should have control over something or someone, it is very daunting and a very scary thing when you lose all control over, I suppose, your very connection.
Yeah. Also, as you two probably already know, the Order of the Crimson Wave is still active.
Unfortunately, from what I've heard, the former current ruler, son, this is confusing. The heir-to-be was part of their organization. However, they did not have enough clout to actually do anything. We did hear about his unfortunate passing, which thankfully does mean that Hino Oso still possesses no clout to establish them here, which is one thing that I'm grateful about.
So, either way, as a word of warning to you, Willow, we need to be very wary because we are the keys to unsealing a great evil.
Yeah, about that. When the prince came into town, he did look around and he did speak according to our informant, in the R&D department with Anderson, and they spoke for a while. Anderson came here to look for you guys. I think I remember telling you guys that, and he did see me. If he did speak with the prince when that happened, he likely has that information, which means I'm probably gonna have to leave this town soon. So it's probably for the best. Might as well not get tied down in one place. It's been safe here so far, but if the organization does know I'm here, well, it's no longer safe to put them in danger.
There might be a place you can go that you could hide for a while. The place called Roanoke is where I've been based in to work with people to deal with the situation that's going on. Can put you in contact with a man named Phil, and he might be able to help you.
I mean, I can take all the help I can get, honestly, but is there a cost to this? I highly doubt someone will just help another for free.
There's some things I need to explain to him, and when we tell him, he'll probably be more involved in this situation.
Well, I'll be here at least until today and maybe tomorrow. So I suppose I'll add tomorrow as well. So you have until 2 days from now before, well, I'm no longer here.
And also, with me taking over the Anderson Robotics, I'm going to be looking at all the personnel to make sure they're, shall we say, not a spy. Are you able to tell me your informant's name?
Yeah, I suppose we can. Yule, do you mind? Not at all. He seems more than fair and trustworthy. I highly doubt that he'd betray us at the very last. Well, at the very end of this. I'm not gonna give you names because technically they're using a pseudonym, but it's she's a halfling. She has robotic arms behind her that she uses to basically move around. She has like 2 big hands, pink hair, darker skin complexion, golden eyes. She's not an Aasimar. That doesn't attribute to her golden eyes. She just has she has just very golden eyes. I don't really know what that means. I think, Yule, do you have a picture of her? Yes, I do. He then hands you a small picture of her. Yeah, she's certainly just weird looking. I mean, she's cute, adorable, but weird looking. You remember talking to her when she was, well, not you technically. You remember Q talking to her?
All right.
She was a little curse with your team. She wasn't a bad person, but she basically fit in as a loner type, which is probably how she has been getting by and not being caught.
Right. Well, I think it would be a good idea to have her stay there, just so there's connections between there and here, in case something happens.
That's more than fair. Now then, you did mention that you'd be taking Dawn with you. Is your friend coming in today? We can hold on to.
I'm going to explain to him today, and then my friend, I believe, will arrive tomorrow.
Very well then. He then looks towards the door, waves his hand, and you can see the binding on the door basically unlocks itself.
Thank you. I'll just go in.
You currently see him tinkering something. It looks like a box, but the box itself seems to have like broken bits and pieces to it. It almost resembles how should I explain this? Like a Rubik's cube, but a lot more crude. He looks towards you and goes, "Oh, they already caught me. I don't know why they sent for you."
They didn't. I came here on my own.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't get that far. I basically got out of this room, and then Yule came flying down from the sky. Didn't know he could do that. I think that's cheating.
Asmars. They have wings. Dawn. So we may have a lead on where Dusk is, but I am so sorry. I just saw a message in my chat pop up. It's not a Satan child,
It's technically an elf child.
right? If anyone's a Satan child, it's my character. And technically not even my character. It's what's her face back in the graveyard. But anyway, Dawn. Like I said, we found a lead on Dusk. Eventually, we'll need to go there, and I intend to bring him back. But I wanted to find a better suited place for you to live.
Well, I can't really go back to mom and dad. They technically kicked me out once I got my apprenticeship, and they like sold all my stuff to make sure that I wouldn't be crawling back to them.
I've been told. What if I could get you another apprenticeship?
I mean, that'd be great. If it's not that, I'll have to go to the orphanage, and well, it's not a bad place, but you basically have to work in a bar, and that's just weird.
I saw that. That is a bit odd. So I recently became the owner of Anderson Robotics. My friend was coming into town. He'll be in town tomorrow. He was coming in to meet Dusk to possibly take him on as an apprentice. And I know you both have very good crafting skills.
Oh, yeah, that's why Foster apprenticed me.
Well, I don't know. You probably haven't heard from Yule, but Foster betrayed the kingdom.
What a pile onto the kid. Hey, we know where your friend is, but it's gonna take time to get there. Also, your former apprenticeship. There's a reason why it's no longer available to you, because he died. Also, betrayed the country in Carol.
Yeah, things
Oh,
kind of went chaotic these last couple days.
really sounds like it. Well,
It's not something we were expecting to deal with.
well, it's not like I ever worked underneath him. I'm not a trader. In fact, my apprenticeship technically doesn't start until a week from now. But I was looking for Dusk, and yeah, this last couple of days have been kind of weird.
Well, this would give you some normalcy to life, and like I said, my intention is to try and find Dusk and bring him back.
Yeah.
I told you that. And that's why I want to suggest this to you also, that learning under my friend, he is quite handy in crafting and some enchanting, actually.
As long as,
And
well, don't get me wrong. Your I'm sure not everyone's bad, but as long as they're not an elf, I think I'll be fine with them.
Have you ever heard of the Warforged?
You see, this kid has been abrupt, crude, rude, with a cool. Darn it, couldn't remember the rhyme. I was going with the reference of Ninja Turtle. Attitude. But when you say, "Hey, do you know the Warforged?" His eyes immediately go like bigger than they currently are, sparkly eyes. Yes, I can't word. He's like really excited. He goes, yeah. I didn't know much about them, so I went to the school of magic here. They immediately asked for money, and I immediately left. But I did steal one of their books they weren't looking at. He then takes out a book. From what I can tell, the Warforged were formed for or due to binding magic to make sure that there was a workforce and potential soldiers for a foreseen future event. I don't really know what that means. He shows you what it is, but he continues on, and you read this in turn. I don't really know why they decided to do this, but according to documents, it does state that they did not believe normal human means could prevent a upcoming storm. It's a weird way of phrasing it, don't you think? But the very heart and core of a Warforged is formed by an amalgamation of a soul and a binding of magic and machine. It's kind of something I wanted to see if I can do myself, replicate, if you will.
That would take a lot of training.
I mean, if I'm underneath one, training by them, I could probably see and observe how they work, how they function. He then goes on to the actual tactical skills of what he's wanting to do. This kid is excited. This kid is boring. This kid reminds you of Ray.
I am going to take the book and actually smack him on top of the head.
How?
Focus. You can't tear him apart or his companion. I would assume that Steel's coming with him.
Yeah, Steel's coming with him. I mean, I'm just gonna look at him and like maybe draw some things. Maybe tell him to lift a few things and see how strong he is.
Porthos is a why am I a monster?
For just whacking the kid on the head.
Oh yeah, I'm using a book.
But once again, how Roshiana speaks about magic, Dawn speaks about not robotics, but
Warforged.
Warforged, yes, because he's super into that, but more in line to engineering.
Great.
You're technically not
Well,
wrong.
I mean-
It's pretty big.
Technically, I am a strong character, so I can control it. And Jesus, I wield a great sword.
Open door. Rolls to open door. Breaks door in half. Not sure if it's a natural 1 or a natural 20. But I digress. Eventually, you are able to calm him down. I mean, this place is nice. Yule feeds me, locks me in a room. Willow comes to visit and hang out. That's kind of how I have this toy with me. For some reason, Yule doesn't want me to break his doors and windows anymore, which is kind of why he magically sealed these things. I can break out of doors and windows just fine. It's just magic I have issues with, which is kind of why my parents kicked me out in the first place. I can only do cantrips. At my age, I'm technically supposed to at least cast or be able to cast level 3 spells.
How old are you now, Don?
Technically I'm an adult. I'm 22. You remember Dawn was 23. These kids are young. They're technically considered adults, but in the faces of elves and drow, no, still children. They still act like children too, so it doesn't help. They also heavily look like kids.
Either way, I need you to stay here for the night, and then I'll have you meet with my friend. His name, ironically, is Rusty.
Okay.
But I'll have you meet with him tomorrow.
Okay. I promise I won't do anything towards him that could break him, but I'm not gonna lie, especially since you haven't lied to me so far. I will be doing tests.
You will talk to him about that.
I will talk to him to tell him I am going to do tests.
I will hand him back his book.
Yeah, in the back of his book, he puts it in his bag. He then kind of, with the weird Rubik's Cube looking thing, goes on top of the actual bag, messes around with the cube, and then removes it, and you see almost like a padlock now there. Oh, it worked. Thanks. I was actually testing that. I think I needed someone else to be in the presence of it in order for it to function. That's all he says. You can ask him what he's trying to do with it, but that's all he says.
That's an interesting gadget. Sorry, I had another sound blurb. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Oh yeah. Well, currently I'm trying to see if I can manifest locks with material items, and I can. And now I'm going to see if I can't unmaterialize them with conventional means. And then I'm going to see if I can't do that with magical locks. For no reason.
You do realize if you're not here tomorrow when me and Rusty get here, the apprenticeship and working with him is out the window. It's gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to still be here. I just... Knowledge is knowledge, and you need to get it how you get it, you know? Books are great, but first-hand experience is even better. Especially since they won't let me into their libraries unless I pay them a lot of money. It's like super dumb. I mean, they wanted me to pay 100 gold just to be in their library for 2 hours.
You know, a certain person that would probably understand that.
Yeah. I mean, all I have is like 10 silver. That's all I was able to grab before my parents kicked me out. I could technically live well for like a couple of months, but that's basically it. So the apprenticeship honestly will help a lot.
All right, well, I need to go finish up a few things.
Okay. I'll be here. If your friend finds me tomorrow, great. If they don't show up tomorrow, then that's the first lie you told me.
Well, either way, I know other people that you can apprentice under that would help you. And if he doesn't show up tomorrow, I'm going to go find him and hurt him.
You see him laugh as you begin to head out. Do you say bye to Yule and Willow? Or like just wave to them? It's fine if you do, and it's fine if you don't.
Close the door. I'm actually going to walk up here. Yeah, so he understands the importance of not running away, but sorry, are you laughing at the
Yes,
things?
I'm also laughing at the terrible eyesight I have because I thought it said win a date, you bitch.
No, it definitely does not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat it. But anyways, you come over there and say, yeah, he knows and understands he should be here tomorrow.
But also, he may have developed a fun little toy to try and break enchanted locks.
Well, I'm going to have to make this lock even harder to break. You then see him lift his hand up. The lock reforms, and then he does it again, and a different pattern system comes around that lock. He then closes his fist. He closes his hand into a fist, and then basically, almost cage rather than a symbol forms around both symbols. All right, let's see him break through that.
Okay. I will be back tomorrow, Willow. I will try and get in touch with my contact in Roanoke.
Right. If you have anything else you need to speak with, again, I'll be here tomorrow, but not after. I'll still be here today, but after tomorrow, I will no longer be here to make sure everyone here is safe.
Great. And I understand. But like I said, I will go discuss that with them now.
Do take care.
You too.
Be safe.
See what I can go destroy now.
Yule looks towards Willow. I am honestly not sure if he's kidding or not. Based on what they've done in town, I wouldn't put it past them. As you head out. Ray, what are you doing?
Have this itch in the back of your mind that someone abused a book.
At some point, Ray would like to head over to a shop that sells magic scrolls to buy a disguised self. She's also had to identify lich robes if someone reminds her. She's also used her crystal ball to try and scry on where dusk is.
That would be something later when Morthos talks to Ray about contacting Phil for Willow. Because, he just talked to Dawn about it.
Mm-hmm. So, going to town to go to... Going into town to shop, Zen does follow in tow. Let's see. Oh, nope. Wrong shopping district. Zen accompanies you because she's honestly the most versed in shopping. For some reason, I can't find your token. There it is. Yeah. Let's just say Morthos is there, but not with them.
Oh, I just need to get some potions and then look around at any other gear. Just simple stuff.
Yeah. But you're basically all everyone but Zol that can't really move that well is all together. So with Ray, Zen goes to speak with this woman that she kind of hassled last time, and then states for Ray. All right, Miss, currently we are in need of supplies. If you could deliver these items that my friend here has put down, we will go in and without an issue. Besides that, though, how is your day? The woman then speaks. It's fine. Your face looks... No, not your face. Your attitude sounds familiar. Have we met before? No. That's weird. Anyways, sorry about that. I kind of had to deal with this tiefling woman and this human the other day, and they were very, very obnoxious. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But my friend does need these items. Do you have any scrolls of magic for sale and disguise self specifically as well? Also, if you have the identification spell, we need you to make sure to to identify the items in question in her possession. That's quite a tall
Well,
order.
I can identify it myself. I just don't have that other spell.
The woman in tow does state, "Oh, spell scrolls are possible. Yes, I do have some. You mentioned disguise self. I do have that, but it's at a premium since. Uh, no, I suppose I can give you the back alley deal." She then goes into her stall, comes back out. I do have one disguise self scroll. So long as you can deliver this missive to the town guard, the town captain of the guard, I'm more than willing to sell you this at a 200 gold value. And before you can say yes, Zen then states, "Are you sure that's as low as you can go? You did say a back end deal. I don't mean to sound rude, but if you do have that kind of deal, that means you were already trying to overcharge my friend at the start. So I don't feel like I can trust you in this regard." With that, the woman does state, "You, it's almost exactly the same as the woman from yesterday. I'd rather not deal with someone like that again. Listen, I can sell it to you for at the very least its ordering price, which is 100 gold. That's as low as I can get, otherwise I'd be losing money."
That's fair. I'll take it. And what's the name of the guard captain you wanted me to find?
Oh, he should be at the barracks themselves. It shouldn't be that hard to find him. You just ask for the town captain. You can place it upon the actual guard station itself, or you can ask for them and then go and meet them personally. So long as they have the letter.
All right. And I'll count off the gold for her.
All right. You buy disguise self for 100 gold. She then does state, "I do have a few other spells that you might want to try out if that one doesn't work. It should work, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how many times you will get to use it. I do have a scroll of invisibility. I'm afraid it's not the greater invisibility spell that I have yet to acquire. I also have the spell known as Polymorph. It's a little more expensive than the spell itself. I'll sell it to you at the selling price that I received it at, which would be 500 gold. But it is the Polymorph spell. The invisibility spell would be at 200 gold. I also have this other spell that is not tested. It's something that was trying to be modified here by a Sir Foster. It's known as transmogrification. It's able to change the wielder into something else but keep their form. It's like polymorph, but instead of changing into what you desire, you manifest its capabilities into your own form. Although I don't know if it's fully operable yet. Although since I don't know, I can sell it to you at 100 gold. Although it is a level 7 spell. And I don't really know how strong you are, I'm afraid.
Seems a bit iffy. I think I'll have to pass on it.
That's quite alright. I just wanted to inform you in case you would like to know. But those are the spells I have that are similar to, or at least close enough to disguise self. If you wanted to buy more. Otherwise, that's just about it, except for the Thunderstep spell, the Thaumaturgy cantrip, as well as the magic missile spell and the lesser healing spell.
No, I believe this will be all for me. Thank you.
Right. If you want me to identify your items, I can do it at 10 gold if you don't want to expend any spell slots.
No, I'll take care of it later today.
As you desire. Zen then looks towards her. Thank you. I might come back here to this stand. Please, please don't. I already have one terrible customer. I'm sure you're fine, but I'd rather not speak with you again. At this point in time, Orthos does come into the stall. Just gonna move you. Ray, you see Morthos. Morthos, you see Ray. If you want to interact, you can, but basically Zen is trying to... Well, not trying. The woman is trying to boot Zen as far away as possible. No?
Hey.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading something. I'm just going to curiously watch this for a moment.
Do you remember why you don't like to go shopping? Well, specifically shopping with Zen. She will get the job done, but no one will like her after. She's a nice person, very kind, caring, but she is looking for the best deal, looking for the best price, and she will not take no for an answer, or at the very least, will make it hell for the person that's selling. And there's a reason why people are traumatized when they go to shop with her.
Okay. I'm going to kind of interrupt the whole interaction, I guess, and be like, hi.
You hear the woman underneath her breath. She tries to hide it, but all of you except for Zen has a high enough passive perception. Oh, thank God, someone else to talk to. Yes, welcome. I'm sorry, you two, but I do have to deal with another customer. If there's nothing else, please vacate the area as soon as possible. That was a little rude, don't you think? She says to Ray.
Right. The missive?
Oh, yes. Thankfully enough, Zen's far enough away that she hands it to you without sighing. Please deliver it to the town captain. If you want to actually know his name is Huan. But it's kind of hard to pronounce, which is why I don't like to give it out to people.
All right. I'll take this over there then.
Of course. Please have a nice day, and you feel free to come back anytime. The way she phrased that clearly means just you.
Don't
Right.
bring Zen.
Have a nice day. And I'll head off for the town guard
All right.
station.
Zen looks towards you and then states, all right, if you need anything else, if you want to go shopping again, I know this nice little boutique that sells great clothes.
I think the clothes I have now are fine.
Oh, yeah, they look great. I just wanted to know in case you wanted to go shop. For some reason, people don't like to go shopping with me. So, whenever I get someone to agree... Sorry. You can tell, like, she's not trying to pressure you or anything. It's just when she can't, like, other than Q, she really can't get anyone else to go shopping with her a second time. But she does state, I'm gonna go and hang out with Q for a bit, so, unless you need me for the town guard, I am gonna head out.
All right. I'll just take this over there and I should be back at the house shortly.
Okay. And with Morthos, She does audibly sigh and then look towards you. Oh, welcome. First and foremost, thank you for getting me out of a very awkward situation. For that, I'm going to make sure you get the best possible deal. So, is there something you are looking for?
I need to see if there's any potions available.
Yes, we have a potion of overstrength that will last up to 1d4 rounds. We have a fire breathing potion. We have a couple of standard healing potions, a greater healing potion, and a health potion. The health potion is quite expensive, but for you, I'm willing to sell it at 100 gold. The standard is roughly 50 for the standard health potions, but let's say 25 apiece if you want the whole set. A 5, let's say 100 gold.
So for
The set of 5 standard health potions.
and then the other health potion is 100 gold by itself.
The health potion, unfortunately, does bring you back up to 75 hit points. So it's a very strong health potion. It's like a very strong healing spell to the degree of almost being incredibly insane. You would have to be very strong for even to need that, really. I just thought I'd bring it up. You can tell she's trying to upsell you, but honestly, she is getting you a great deal.
I will take the set and the extra one.
Oh, certainly. If you want the greater health potions that do 4d4 plus 2 health back, those ones are technically 75, but I'm willing to bring it down to 50. There's only 2 of those, though.
All right, let me get these added into my bag of holding.
She then states, is there any other potion you have specifics about? We do carry other types of other types of potions, but it'd be easier to understand what you're looking for.
I don't want to explain to her about the soul gem, so
I mean, you can tell her, you can tell me what Morthos would, what your character's thinking, and then your character themselves can go a roundabout way, so I actually know what you're trying to say, but your character's saying something different.
1 second. Sorry, I couldn't hear over the sound blurb again.
Hey, you allowed sound, man.
Hey, it helps me.
It does.
Stream. So I got the healing soul gem that I can put potions and stuff in.
Yes.
That's what I'm stocking up for.
Okay. So you go with the roundabout way of saying, I want to make sure there is enough strength within the potion to heal as much as possible. So inclined, she does state, let me see here. It's not a health potion per se, but you can infuse it if you have a good alchemist with you. She then takes out a scroll. However, it's not completely finished yet. This is a Greater Restoration scroll. I do need a high-level artificer or a high-level mage to finish the spell itself, to infuse it with magic. Unfortunately, I'm not able to technically sell it just yet, but if you're able to find someone in that regard that fits those qualifications, you would be able to infuse this Greater Restoration scroll into the potion itself.
I might actually have someone coming into town.
Oh, I mean, it's a lovely city and people come into town. By the way, if you want to avoid the toll or the tax or being basically combed over and inspected, A great way to do that is to buy a lot of produce or something and import it into town. That way, they just inspect the produce or whatever you bring in, and then they basically clear you because they believe you're just another merchant. A lot of the nobles and a lot of the, I mean, don't spread this around, but a lot of the black market dealers do this to avoid converting their money into shells.
What is Ray typing?
I don't know.
I'm just sitting here waiting to see what it is.
Yeah. She does then state, if you want the Greater Restoration scroll, well, manifestation of the spell, it will. Normally, if it did work, it'd be around 400 gold, but since it doesn't, and you did get me out of a bind, I would say maybe 100 gold.
No, I can do that.
All right. You transfer the money. She gives you the unfinished scroll and what it appears to be a blank vial of just water. All right. This is known simply as distilled water. It is able to be infused with other things, but in itself is basically in an inert state. So don't open it until your companion, is able to finish the spell. And upon completion, you open the scroll, open the distilled water, and quite literally jam them together, and then cork it. In that regard, the spell will play out, but it'd be in the device itself, and in turn would be imbued into the water source.
Oh. Okay. So I got that. Ray, real quick, outside of this, from the whole fighting situation, when someone killed the prince, I was going to say just have you add the money to your funds, because I think the rest of us have quite a bit of money on us.
Everyone but Zen.
Oh, or Ray and Zen can split it. It's up to you, Ray. 50 gold pieces, 50 silver pieces, 25 copper pieces, and 3 electrum pieces.
It's 4. I like even numbers.
You said 3 last week, so...
I did, then I corrected myself because I was mad and upset it was 3.
So add that to your money.
4 electrum, 50 gold?
50 gold, 50 silver, and 25 copper.
Mm-hmm.
26?
25.
I just said 25.
I heard 26.
I misheard you.
I said 25.
Eh.
So I couldn't hear some of the other potions because certain people playing sound blarps in my ears.
Fire breath, ogre strength, and then she asked you basically what specifically are you looking for. But she does have water breathing potion, and the last one she does have is prismatic ray potion. That can't be right. No, yeah, prismatic ray potion.
I think I should be good.
Okay.
Because I've got... Oh yeah, I was going to buy the 2 greater healing potions.
How does prismatic ray work as a potion?
I don't know. Which is why I was confused about my notes.
So I have 4. Let's see. 10, 11 potions for... Oh, I was just figuring out my total. Do I need to get anything else?
I don't think so. Unless you just want to shop.
kind of want to. I also have a Fabergé egg worth 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
That I'd like to sell.
So while you begin to shop for the best deal, you remember this is a good thing Zen's not here. We will likely cut and end it with Ray's scene. As you head into town looking for people, asking them, hey, do you know where the town guard is? Or hey, do you know where the innkeeper is? You come inside and you do see the stand-in guard known as Kent. He himself looks towards you and then states, oh, welcome. Is there something you need, miss?
Yes, I'm here to deliver a letter to Juan.
Ah, the town captain. Yes. Is it personal or private? If it's private, I can bring. Well, he gets up. He is in his office. I can show you to him. If it's personal, I can have it stored and call him when it's convenient most to him.
I would just prefer to hand it off to him.
Oh yes, of course. Follow me. He goes through the door. He then knocks before you get there, or you're there. That's perfectly fine. Juan, it seems that you have been given a missive. Hmm? Yes. But, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
You can call me Ray.
A Miss Ray has been sent here to deliver it to you. Alright, I'll be right there. You hear footsteps and opening the door. Yes, miss, how can I help you? I go by Lieutenant Juan here. I am technically the captain of the guard, as the true captain is away fighting a war.
Yes, a woman in the market asked me to deliver this to you. And I'll hold out the letter to him.
You see, you hold out the letter to him. It's not a fanciful letter, but it does have nice filigree around it. I've been using that word a lot today. He then blushes. You think it's kind of hard to tell with his demeanor, but you can see more redness in his cheeks. And goes, right. Thank you. He then, if you hand it out, he will receive it. If you're like holding it to your person, he won't take it from you.
No, I'm just holding it out to him.
All right, he receives it and then states, thank you for this. Like, thank you. He then looks towards his person, grabs something on his side, then brings it out to you. For your troubles. He then grabs your hand that the note was on and puts something in it. You hear the jangling of change. Well, thinking back on it, you heard the jangling of change whenever Phil gave you money. So this is probably the same thing. As you open your palm, you do see that there are 10 pieces of platinum in your hand. This is a lot more change than Phil usually gives you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
No, thank you.
I'll leave you to it.
Can't hold any missives I receive after this. I need privacy. Yes, sir. It seems that the captain is very adamant in reading that alone. Well, thank you, miss. If you need anything else from the town guards, we are in town. Just let us know. Otherwise than that, please have yourself a lovely day.
It was something.
And with Ray not getting arrested, beating anyone up, or asking what that was about, one thing is definitely certain. You are finally getting some rest while you're on vacation. As we end the session for today.